G'day guys, welcome back to my channel, TriFive guy, and heading up to Steve's place in Georgetown. I've got the all-American 57 Chevy GASSER on the trailer on the back. It's a 502 bit block, it's a HO 502, and the ZZ is very similar. The only difference is camshaft and cylinder heads. But the oil pressure, I'm not happy with the way it starts off at about 35 pounds and it drops right down to about 10 at idle. We're going to pull off the pan, replace the oil pump, put a high volume oil pump, and while we're at it, we're going to check the main bearings and the conrod bearings, make sure they're within spec and not worn out. While we're at it, you know, new pan gasket, new oil filter, which I just done about a week ago. So there's a few other things I want to do because next week is the start of the TriFive Nationals. There was no TriFive Nationals last year, obviously, because of the COVID, but there's going to be a lot of cars there. You know, just get it right for the Nationals. So guys, please like and subscribe and hit the notification tab. I really appreciate it. I know a lot of guys watch my videos, so a lot of them aren't subscribed, but I'll tell you what, if you can subscribe, hit that notification bell, I'd really appreciate it. So thanks guys. Alright guys, the All-Americans on the left at Steve's here. So it is up in the air. Dirty. So good chance to get it all cleaned up for the TriFive Nationals. But there it is underneath. Pretty cool. So first thing we're gonna do is drop the oil. So we're going to drop the oil, then drop the pan, and then have a look what's going on in there. Alright, just taking the oil out, as you can see under here. I drive this car, so you know, it's got road grime and stuff. It's not like it's a trailer queen. The only time I used to trail it was when I used to go to the TriFive Nationals from Maine, so there you go. That oil is maybe 60, 70 miles old.
Ready to back up.
Yep. Change of plans. We cannot get the pan off without lifting the motor up, which means we have to lift up or remove all this sort of stuff here, or take off this header. There's a ton of work. And then the easiest part is to pull the motor out. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to do it now. There's a week before the Nationals. We've got stuff we're going to get done out of the way. So we're going to put a new filter in it. We're going to check the old filter, make sure there's nothing in it, and then put what is it, Steve, Rotella T4 15W40 weight. We're going to put that in there, and yeah, there's no noise coming out of the motor. These things are built pretty loose, so we're just gonna clean it up. I want to paint the harmonic balancer. All the paint's come off it, so I just want to touch up a few things I can get to. And Steve's removing the stack right now so he can get to the wires. We're going to change the wires. They're burnt through, as you can see, straight plug wires on these headers. So I mean, we're gonna change them to angle plug heads. I'm going to clean up all this sort of stuff. That's from condensation. I'm going to take off that shaft there. I'm going to repaint that shaft. I'm going to paint the steering box. A few other bits and pieces. Just clean it up, clean all underneath, clean up all this stuff so it looks clean when we go to the Nationals. And you know what's going to happen when we drive down there? It's going to rain. So we're going to be dirty again. But yeah, so let's get to it. So this steering shaft is 4 years old. Look at the condition of it. No, I'm talking to the camera, mate. That's all right. So 4 years old. Look at it. So I'm going to I don't know if that's, you can call that chrome, but I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to take all that out. I'm going to paint it silver. I think it's going to look good silver. And the steering box, when I replaced it at the last Nationals, not last year because it wasn't on, but the year before, I broke the steering box at the Nationals, and because we were in a hurry, we left it just raw steel. So, you know, it was broken down right in front of the motel, so we just want to put it in there and get going. So I'm going to clean this up, and first thing I'm going to do is, see, I've marked these sides. I'm going to tape, I'm just going to hit that with a punch hole there, so I know this side's up because they've got grooves, you see, and I don't want to screw around with it. Just punch 2 holes, and I know I'll punch 2 holes on this side so I know it's this way, and 1 hole on this side so I know it's up. All right, I'll be back. So I don't know if you can see, I'm going to clean it up, but this is the upper side, so I've punched 2 holes here. Like, whoops, where am I going? This way. See, I've punched 2 holes, and this is the lower side. So now I know exactly where they go. I don't have to alter anything. So I'm going to clean this bar up and I'll put some paint on it. So here it is, it's all cleaned up, got all the rust off that. Now I'm going to etch prime that, and then I'll spray some black over it. Don't know if we're going to do satin black or a glossy black, if we've got some glossy black. Yeah, so there's my 2 punches, you can see them clearly now, right? That means the top of it, and this side is the base, so there's no problems. It's going to sit where it was in the same position. And yeah, there you go. So I etch primed it all the way through, and then I shot some black right here because I'm going to let it go. So I've got somewhere to hold it later. I'm going to put some tape on it so I can hold it. Just let that go for a little while, let that dry, and then I can paint the rest, because how do you hang this? How do I hang it? Well, I can't put wire around it anywhere. So that's the idea of that. Next thing I'm going to do is remove that steering box, clean it up, paint it black, put it back on. Alright, so here's the steering box that I had to replace at the last TriFive Nationals in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It broke right in the car park at the host hotel when I went there. So we had to get one from Summit overnighted. It arrived at the motel and we had to fit it. So like I said, we weren't going to, you know, detail and paint it, because it was right at the entrance of the foyer entrance to the motel, so we had to fix it right there and then and hurry up. So about 7 o'clock in the morning we started putting this together. So now I'm going to clean it all up and get it painted just black, so it's going to look good. Alright, so got it all pretty well cleaned up. I'm going to blow it off, and then I'm going to hit it with some rust converter. We'll get rid of all this rest of the stuff and give it a good base, and then maybe some etch primer or some primer and some black, and that'll take care of that, and I'll bolt it back on when it dries. So I've got the neutralizer on the steering box, and that's what it looks like. Neutralizer on it. It's Loctite extended rust neutralizer. Here it is here. I like using on this sort of stuff. It says it converts light rust to a paintable surface, but I'm going to go ahead and just spray a little bit of primer on that. It's come up well, come up good. Yeah, it looks way better. Yeah, it turns all the rusty sort of metal to like a black sort of, that's how you know it's working. So yeah, it looks good. Gave it 2 coats of that. One, let it go for 25-30 minutes and hit it again about half an hour ago. So that's it there, it looks good. And over here we've got the steering shaft. Just threw some of that high temp like an aluminum colour on it. Alright, more progress. The box is now in like a red oxide primer. And go over here. We've got the plug wires in. Steve done a really neat job putting the plug wires in. You can't even hardly see them. Looks nice, nice and neat. Taylor 8.2s. Beautiful boxes over here. Taylor ignition wires. There's a part number. If you want a under header 90-degree boot, keep them away from the header. If you've got fender well headers like this, beautiful. Nowhere near the exhaust, because this had straight plug heads, right? Straight out like that. And guess what they hit? The exhaust. And guess what they did? Hang on, let me find one. Yeah, but look at that. So someone put this, or whoever did, put this tape on it to protect it, but you can't. There's no help on that. How many was there, Steve? 3 or 4 of them. You think this thing could run a little bit better now? Look at that. Focus. I mean, that's just history. You know, one under there. Just 10 times better. Hooking down like that. Look at that. Neat. Away from everything. Nowhere near the header now. Not even close. Doing a bit of polishing. Steve cleaned all that. Come up really nice. Polished the top tank there and the radiator. Yeah, it's looking good now. Alright, so paint's fallen off the plastic cover there, so I'm just going to touch that up. I've bare metal, some area there that was also paint had fallen off. I'm just going to clean it up. Polish up the alternator. Not good. Still haven't got the steering box in there. That's still drying. A bit more polish. Just cleaning it up. I'm going to do that valve cover. Okay, steering box is in, back in. If you noticed before, we were drilling this out because even on the old steering box, it was really tight, and when we got this new one, it definitely didn't fit. So it was out. So we drilled the inside of this out just a little bit, and then yeah, so it all fits good now. And we had a small bolt, had it on this wheel here. So here it is. So when I was at the TriFive Nationals last time we were there, I had to only use those 2 down there, 1, 2, and I had to use this small one so we can get back on the road. But so that was one thing I was looking forward to, was replacing it all with the bigger bolts. They're 7/16. No, they're, what size are they, Steve?
7/16.
They are 7/16 UNC. So now we've got 3 of them. The shaft's in now. It looks way better. It's it's silver now, so that looks good. Box is painted, all on. The engine is all nicely cleaned up now. So it's time to start it. I cleaned up all this, had surface and pitting on it. The top of these, they were kind of like had a tinge to them, like a, you know, not rust, it was from the heat, but I cleaned them up. So it's come up well. It's come up well. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Just a shout out, actually, it's a quick shout out to Trevor Couture. He's from Canada. He does ECU tuning, Hollies, Exterminator X, Exterminator, all of them, HP. This is what I've got, this HP, Holly, ECU, and remotely from his computer in Canada, got on my computer through a program, like a laptop sharing program, and because I've got it, because I've got the program uploaded on my laptop, he got in there and he changed all parameters and values and all that sort of stuff. Really cool and neat stuff to watch. Trevor Couture, TCtuned on Facebook. It's capital T, capital C, tuned. Look him up. Facebook, Trevor, good guy, done a brilliant job. Recommend him to anyone. He knows his stuff, so check him out. He does all Holly stuff. He probably does other stuff. I can't say what else he does because I've only got Holly. We only talked Holly. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, see you at the Nationals. Right guys, so we're going to adjust the, I don't know, well, I think Steve knows more than me about it, but he's going to adjust the arc, correct Steve? It's the arc of the butterflies?
The arc, and then synchronize the two butterfly sides to open at the same time, at the same rate. It's important at idle to have them both open the same amount so you get even air and firing on each cylinder on both sides.
If not, it runs like...
Yeah, basically you got to have the three things, right? You got to have air, fuel, and spark. So if you're not getting any air, you don't really get a whole lot of power making on one side versus the other.
So this side is open more than this side. So this side's more closed. So it's not allowing fuel to get in there. So it's going to run at an idle rough until you open it up. Of course, once you put your foot into it, the butterflies open up, and you got. So see how Steve's wiggling this backwards and forwards. He's synchronizing the two of the...
You got a gauge pin that goes in between the butterflies. So you got one on each side. Then you adjust them to where you're getting basically the same amount.
There you go. And he kind of like roughly has them in the middle of the butterfly.
Yep.
See how that's sloppy, and if he moves the other one, I don't think it is sloppy, is it, Steve?
No, it gets you even tighter. You're just looking, that's the loosest spot.
So that's a loose one there. So, and he adjusts the adjustable rod in the back there until there's no slop in it.
Yep. And you just cinch it down.
And then you got to cinch it down. Don't forget to cinch it down, because if you do that part, it'll just fall out of tune again.
Yep. We
personally have never done that, but it's good. See, is that right, Steve?
Yep.
So yeah, he's got them both. They're pretty well spot on, yep. And I'm gonna have to hand him. What do you want? 3/8,
yep,
Steve?
2
3/8.